Today's video is brought to you by Tank. Because it's obvious the Sixers franchise, no matter who they put in front office, knows what they're doing out there. Matter of fact, if they made this shirt today, I'd buy it as far as I'm concerned. And while we're at it, why don't we just change the jerseys to the Washington Generals? Because that's how bad the Sixers are right now. I put it like this. You need a new promotional deal, Sixers? Why don't you let the fans in the stands play? All right, we are back on sports, and I'm glad to be back. And some of you people have been sending me messages about, doing more sports videos. Y'all was right, man. Y'all was right, straight up. Because, I was giving them a little bit too much love, and look at the way they acted in those other videos. Y'all absolutely right. It's time to get back in sports, what we do best around here, and I will put it like this. I have a schedule to keep, so we will get into this right now. I want to start with the Sixers organization. Sixers, for the previous decade, you have been sucking, okay? And I want to talk about the front office, because no matter who's in front office, you can still have Billy King here. And guess what? They still suck. As far as I'm concerned, the Sixers have done nothing for this city since Allen Iverson has left. You shouldn't have got rid of him to begin with because, you wanted to say, oh, he's got attitude problems. He's a detriment to this team. And guess what? Where did you go after that? You went nowhere. The heart of your team left. Well, speaking of Allen Iverson, okay, for those who know, he retired over the weekend. And we were all sad to see him retire. And the Sixers, instead of doing the right thing, instead of doing the different thing that most NBA teams do, the Sixers decided to retire his number and let him sit on the sidelines and watch the Sixers get decimated, which made no sense to me. As far as I'm concerned, if you want to do things differently, because I put it like this, we all knew the Sixers were going to lose, okay? We knew this. Now, I put it like this, Sixers franchise, organization, front office, if you were smart that night, you would have done something differently. You would have let Allen Iverson play in his retirement game. I don't care if it was for just the second half because you wanted to, be in street clothes or whatever, and then do a speech, you know what I mean? And then, out of shock, come out of nowhere with the jersey on and play with, play with the team. Don't tell me this is about integrity of the team when the team has only had, 14, 15 wins this season. I'm not trying to hear it, okay? Letting this guy play would have packed the stadium. You had semi-packed the stadium knowing he was going to be retired. Understand this. If people were coming out to see his number retired, just to see his number retired, could you have imagined if you'd have announced that Allen Iverson was playing that night on the night of his retirement? Do you understand what would happen there, Sixers? You messed up. Every time there's an opportunity, you drop the ball. Every time. I'm not trying to hear it. Like I said, him coming out and playing wouldn't have made a difference. You signed, was that kid Kevin Grow? You signed him to a 3-day contract, all right? And what did that do? Nothing, okay? The Globetrotters signed that kid too as he went on. But you can sign that kid. You can have Kevin Hart and Ice Cube come to practice. Yeah, we're talking about practice. Come to practice, all right, and shoot around. But you couldn't have signed Allen Iverson to a 3-day contract and let him play, or a 10-day contract and let him play in his retirement game? This makes no sense. And also, I want to put it like this. Where the hell was Will Smith? All right? And I know a lot of people say, well, Vent, you don't know if he was doing a movie or anything like that. Of course, we don't know that. But I put it like this. For those who watch Sixers basketball, every time they talk about owners and shareholders, Will Smith is paraded in front of the Sixers franchise, just like the Brooklyn Nets did Jay-Z. They parade him around so much. So let me get this straight, Will Smith. Because if he's got a movie or something to be done, then that's fine. Okay? He's schedule, contract issues. I get it. Okay? But if he's not doing anything, and you're going to tell me you're a partial owner of the Sixers, and you don't show up to one of the most iconic Sixers of that generation in his retirement, there's a problem. There's a huge problem. You can show up for a playoff game, right? That one playoff game we had against the Bulls, all right? And watch, a pretty much hapless Sixers, get through the first round, which we all know was a bunch of garbage. We know that. You can't even deny that, okay? But you can't show up to a legendary basketball player's retirement. You've got to be kidding me. As far as I'm concerned, the Sixers organization really messed this up. And it goes to show you how far that the organization doesn't know what they're doing when Josh Harris comes out and says that this franchise needs the next Iverson.
We're just really glad that we could be a part of welcoming one of the greatest Sixers ever, to be a part of our family going forward and forever. And to the city, we need the next Allen Iverson.
Really, Josh Harris? Look, it's already bad enough that people are thinking that you were drunk when you got up there or you didn't have a speech prepared when you got up there. But to say something like that is dead wrong. We're going to get this off the table right now, okay? First off, for anybody who believes that we need the next Iverson, you should just stop watching basketball altogether, okay? Josh Harris has no idea what he's talking about. This is what happened. Players, people who play basketball, this is the type of pressure that owners will put on you. Media pressure will put on you. You have to be the next somebody else instead of being the first of yourself. You need your own identity. Don't follow in someone else's footsteps. It's okay. And if you listen to Allen Iverson in his speech, yeah, it's okay to be influenced by others because he said himself, he wanted to be like Mike. If it wasn't for Michael Jordan, he would have never picked up a basketball, all right? But after a while, guess what? He had to find his own identity. Hell, he even topped Mike when he played against Mike. So understand that you have to be your own man. That's what it comes down to, your own identity, your own self. And don't let the NBA fool you on this. Because the NBA will keep telling you, we need the next Jordan. That's how they did Harold Miner. That's how they did, they do LeBron the same way. I mean, there's so many people that came before LeBron that they said, this guy is going to be the next Michael Jordan, and they couldn't find him. That's what it is. Understand the NBA is looking for someone to latch onto, and so is the media looking for someone to latch onto. Understand, what Iverson, for you to say that we need the next Iverson, you're saying, because, the NBA said it as a whole, that Iverson was a problem. His attitude was a problem. Understand, Iverson wasn't just about attitude. It was heart. That's what it was. It wasn't just about phenomenal basketball playing. It was heart. It was effort. And we don't see that on this court. I mean, I'm telling you now, if anybody watches a Sixers basketball game, okay, and in the post-game show, you can see Jim Lynam break down footage. You can see players not even running back on defense. They're not hustling. They're just walking like hum to dum. These are young players who have lucrative contracts and don't care. There's some of them out there who try to play hard on the offensive side of the ball, but not on the defensive side of the ball. All right? This is the problem we're having right now. It's just ridiculous that people think that we need the next Allen Iverson. We don't. Okay? Like I said, who wants to have a problem? You deemed them a problem, now you want the next problem, huh? It just seems like people don't think before they speak. I don't understand this. This is the reason why David Stern pushed him out, okay? Because if you look at the stats in Denver, they weren't bad. I mean, I told you, I've done videos on this before. I told you, George Karl couldn't coach a good team. He had Iverson, Melo, Nene, he had all these guys and still couldn't win it. But yet we're supposed to just blame those guys. Look at those stats. Look at Iverson's stats. Not bad at all. All right? If you are playing on the level of an Allen Iverson, understand that you don't want to come off the bench to the Charlotte Bobcats. I don't blame him for like, no, I'm not coming off the bench. Anybody who plays basketball knows you don't want to be on the bench. No, you want to be a starter. You want the ball. That's how it's done. Understand you have to be a good teammate, at times, and sit on the bench, but also understand when you're at that level. Come on now. Come on. That's just, you tell somebody you want to sit on the bench of the Charlotte Bobcats when they've been a multiple-time All-Star, MVP, and all that stuff, you think they really want to sit on the bench? Really? Now, we all know the problems that Allen Iverson has had, when it comes to these type of things, with his attitude, and he went overseas, and he didn't do well overseas. And it seems like U.S. players, for some reason, we saw it with J.R. Smith not too long ago when he went to China. They don't go over there and understand direction. Like, they just think that, oh, I'm Hollywood, I got all this money, I can do whatever I want, and then not live up to the expectations that they're paying you. Because overseas, they're not going to play that, all right? It's almost like the Army over there when it comes to playing basketball. Strict fundamentals. This is the time you have to be here. And there's no walking in late and all this attitude and diva. No, they're not going to put up with that. So you have to understand this is a problem. Some people can adjust like Stephon Marbury, but people like J.R. Smith couldn't adjust. People like Allen Iverson couldn't adjust. Udonis Haslem went through a number of overseas teams before he came back to the Heat. He had to go through that to get to the Heat. It's like you have to understand how different games are played, or organizations and structure are played in different places. It's almost like going to a street ball court and going from one court to another, and they all have different rules. That's you have to be able to adjust, and it seems like a lot of these players can't adjust. And what's sad about this is the Sixers organization they've been telling you for months that Allen Iverson was going to retire. You would have thought that they would have rolled out a great line of products for Allen Iverson for you to buy. No, a bunch of garbage. I'll put it like this. Sixers, if you would have put this logo on a t-shirt or a hoodie, I'd have bought it. But instead, You decided to make a bunch of 90s caricatures on shirts. You want to put wristbands of his number on. I'm not buying that crap, man. What's wrong with you? All right? Once again, the front office, I don't understand how the front office can make these type of deals, these type of moves, all right? And these type of contracts and still keep their job. I don't get this. Look, people, let's be honest here, all right? Let's be real. Understand what happened not too long ago with the trade. That's right, with Danny Granger. We know superstars don't want to play in Philadelphia. They don't. And Danny Granger being traded, first off, I don't blame Danny Granger for wanting to be bought out, okay? There's no way you can go to playing with the Pacers, which, as we all know, are projected to go all the way this year. We don't know if it's going to happen, but they're projected to go all the way this year, okay? They got a good chance. To be traded for Evan Turner and LaVoy Allen? You serious? And then you got to go down to a team that only got 14, 15 wins. They didn't win an entire game in February. I'm sorry, but if I'm Danny Granger, I'm like, yo, I want to be bought out too. Everybody knows if you're coming to win, you don't want to go to Philadelphia. But if you want to be paid a lot of money to play to lose, you come to Philadelphia. If you don't believe me, ask Chris Webber. This is happening way too much because the franchise still can't get themselves together. They've had draft picks, they've sent guys down, they've traded people, they've released people, they sent into the D-League, and guys who can actually play. But we don't even see this anymore. What is going on with the franchise? And yet you still want fans to come out and support the team. You won't go into the neighborhoods like I said before, because Philadelphia, if anyone heard Allen Iverson's speech about Philadelphia fans and basketball, they said he's definitely the best fans in the world when it comes to basketball because we are a basketball community. Don't sit here and tell me that you're not even going to go into that community and try to help them and expect them to come and support your 14, 15 win season. You've got to be kidding me. That is just a slap in the face. But yet, this is what we're dealt with. Every time a Sixers game comes on, somebody, because I remember when I made the joke a long time ago, and now it seems to be an ongoing thing now. Every time the Sixers game is on, somebody say, well, they're not getting worldwide exposure, and then somebody says, you should check Comedy Central. Maybe they're on there. That's how much of a joke they are. This is how bad the team has got. Granted, we are tanking. When fans are all on board for tanking to get a better draft pick, that should tell you something. That should just absolutely tell you something. It's just, come on, man. I don't get this. Like I said, Danny Granger has every right to feel the way he does and get bought out. And the Sixers bought him out. They did. They bought him out. When he got here, when they first traded for him, I really thought, hey, if we can keep Danny Granger, this may be something. This may be the start of something. But Danny Granger don't want to do that because just like every other team or every other player I say these days, they want to play for contenders. They don't believe in building from the bottom up. They just want to play and get championships. Ask LeBron James. Ask Dwight Howard. Ask Dwight. The list goes on. It does. But Danny Granger was bought out, and now he's going to sign with the Clippers. Now, at first he said he's going to sign with the Heat, and that would have been interesting because I'd have been pissed off at the Pacers, too, for trading me the way they did. All right? And go right to the Heat and go and try to beat them. You know what I mean? But he signed with the Clippers, which is fine. Okay? But understand, people, that this is something that is a problem. And there's going to be a link in the info bar about people, players getting bought out and it being to their advantage. Because once you get bought out, you can go wherever the hell you want. Free agent, you can hear the best offers. You want to win a ring, apparently, that quick. You know what I mean? And I guess at this point, they say, well, I don't have any loyalty to cities or to teams because look at the way they treat you as a player. I can understand why he'd do that. It's not like the LeBron case where, people in Cleveland wanted him to stay. It's not like Dwight Howard where people in Orlando wanted him to stay until he started acting the fool and then people in Orlando were like, no, get out of here. And the same thing he did in L.A. and people in L.A. like, no, get out of here. It's not the same. Danny Granger was loyal. There's a difference, And granted, a lot of people say because of injuries he's on the downside of his career, but I can understand why Granger wanted to stay. I think if the team would have sat down with him and talked to him first and say, look, we need, we can give you some extra minutes. We need to see more production before pulling this trigger, it'd be different. But then again, you're in the NBA. You should already have that mentality that you keep rising and rising and rising. And it seems like Danny Granger just got comfortable, it seems. It seems like a lot of athletes, they just got comfortable. They accept losing. I've never understood that. I never understood accept losing. Look, people win and lose teams, somebody's got to lose. but you don't accept it. If you lose, you get mad and you come back the next game and you destroy the next team. It seems like we don't see that anymore. Teams lose and they're just like, you just forget about it and go on to the next one. No. Keep that chip on your shoulder. It seems like people don't take their games personally anymore. This is your career we're talking about here. You know? But whatever. That's just how it seems like. And this is what bothers me, because when you have players who are only worried about, some players are worried about dollars and winning championships, we're still here in bad areas that can't even get rims even put up or even keep them, with the upkeep of basketball courts in general.
All right, we are here at Cohawks Court. This used to be another legendary spot. I remember we used to play here. I remember in the summer tournament, I dropped I had 30, 17, and 5 like that day. I was on fire that night, dude. I don't understand it. But anyways, as you can see, the court here has always had problems. You see, look, there's a little bit of patchwork here, which is nothing. This court was always notorious for having dips in it, and they would constantly keep repaving it, so they would shut the court down, and it would never help. So the court is still on a lean. As you can see, look at all this, man. Look at all this, all in the center. Look at this. We used to have to use a push broom too to get a lot of this stuff off. But us players used to, of course, it's opposed just from snow and rain, but it goes to show you the dipping in it, because look, every time you wanted to play basketball after a rain or snow, you'd have to shovel it and push it out. But the rim is kind of on a slant, sort of. We're gonna go around here, and this doesn't look bad, but I'm gonna show y'all the rest of this because y'all don't see the stuff that's behind me right now. Of course, some more court spatter, but of course that's nothing. We usually can take care of that. Look at this rim. I don't know if y'all can see how beat up it is. It needs, the backboard, the rim, it needs to be readjusted. These backboards have been here for years. All right, years. They just keep pretty much putting up new rims and putting new backs on them. That's all they're doing. Now, let me go over here so y'all can see what's going on. Like I said, more patchwork. As you can see, the adults, mind you, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. The adults is out here playing football. All right, got refs and everything out here. But anyways, look, we have all this still going on. All this work, more patchwork around, around the three-point key. More dirt, more garbage. It just goes to show you it doesn't matter around here. Look, packs of cigarettes and shit. Look at this. I know what you're saying. More puddles, more garbage. Now this is what I want to show y'all. Now mind you, we complained for 5 years to get this. Look at this, the rim is broke already. We complained for 5 years. And we got this renovated just last year, and already the rim is down. So people aren't playing here because it's already messed up. Now, I want to show y'all, look, more of this work. Look at this, just writing on the floor. They actually installed benches for us here because we didn't have benches. They put them in there for our league play here. Oh, there goes the dog tied up. But like I said, those are the adults playing football. Like I said, it's about 20 of them. They some big dudes too. Anyways. As you can see, there still needs to be a lot of work done here. And I want to show you all this as well, because it's not just the basketball court here. All right, I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, y'all can see that from there, right? From that distance, that's the handball court as well. That used to be, they got artists to come out and do a mural on the handball court over there. And then for some reason, they painted over it. And then, of course, people came over and started writing their tags on it. Just like they wrote on that. Like, I don't know, y'all. Every time we try to get something going here, it falls apart. Now, this is one of the places also when we didn't have nets. As you can see, there's no nets on the rims, okay? We used to bring our own nets, and we would have to ask the place over there, because that's the inside over there. We would have to ask them to borrow a ladder so that we can climb up there and put the nets on. We'd have to do it every 2 to 3 weeks. Now, we're not going to blame, of course, the city for that, or, the people in charge here. We blame, people, immature people for that. But understand, these are things that need to be fixed. And you get tired of, producing. I can understand why the city and Rex, get tired of also doing anything. But also understand, that's their job to keep these things up. There's nobody here. See this? This is crazy. Now, also, if you can see over here, since y'all just saw the football field over there where the players play, this right here, this empty space right here, this is where we play tackle football in the cement. Because when this field is full, it's usually full with football and baseball and sometimes soccer. When that is full, the players come over here and play tackle on the cement. The same way if you go up the street up on, up on Somerset, there's an empty parking lot where they play tackle in the cement as well. So as you can see, this is a problem. The play areas, if you haven't noticed, in every area I've been to so far, are always clean for the kids. But the basketball courts are always a mess. And at this point, it seems like people just tagging just to take over. So I'm going to walk over here real quick. As you see, like I said, it's not just a basketball court at this point. Cohocs has a problem in general with keeping everything upgraded. Now, mind you, they just put this up, this little figure, this little, piece up here. They just put this up a couple years ago. This place didn't used to have this. So as you can see, people already writing on it. Already writing on, let me see if I can go over here. Already writing on the door over there. It's ridiculous. Look at this. This is where the bathrooms are when the pools are open for the summertime. Look, all this, all writing. Like I said, I'm going to find out who's doing this stuff because this don't make no damn sense. This pool is actually one of the pools that are usually open during the summer for the kids. So there's really not that much complaining here. But like I said, this is the handball court. And they wrote, they went over it. So they start writing over it again. When it was actually a really good handball court. I don't get it. I really don't know what to say here, man. Every time we try to complain with these people, they always give us a whole hum. Like I said, it took 5 years just to get those new rims up because the same backboards. 5 years. And like I said, they had a cement truck over here. They had to take down the gate and everything so they can put the cement, onto the court, and it still didn't take. Obviously, it has some structure problems, and it's still on a slant. I don't understand. I guess we'll have to talk to them again because it's the only way things are going to get done.
I swear, it's like a trap that you can't get out of. I don't understand it. Look. I want to talk a little bit about NFL now. I want to move on to NFL. That's right. Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles fans. All right. Eagles making a lot of moves since the last video I did since Friday. There's rumor talking about wide receiver 10 is going to be traded. Yo, let's have it. Look, I'll put it like this. I swear, I will make a video talking about this if he is traded as far as I'm concerned, all right? There's also talk about the Eagles looking at Deion Jordan, which means he'll be playing defensive end, which means that Trent Cole will be gone, which doesn't make any sense to me because Trent Cole is still a top athlete if you ask me. Now, a lot of people are saying that his production is down. Well, he had to learn a new system. He had to. It's not just as simple as just go after the quarterback. It's not that simple, okay? But for a man who applies so much pressure, all right, it makes no sense to get rid of him. If anything, we need more linebackers and we need safeties, okay? Don't tell me that we need Deion Jordan, a guy who was in Miami last year who actually had a lot of injuries, all right? The link will be in the info bar. It goes into detail about this. I personally don't think that we need him, even though he did play in Chip Kelly's system, but I don't think that we need Deion Jordan as far as I'm concerned. I say I'd rather go with a guy who is known here and we know what Trent Cole can do and have him push hard, you know what I mean? As opposed to some new guy who you would possibly think is better than Trent Cole, but is always hurt and doesn't play. We just don't know what to expect from this guy. I personally would still stay with Trent Cole, let him learn this system. Like I said, give him this season and then see if he can learn the system. You know what I mean? Since we have a season under our belt now that, everyone can learn the system, let's see what he can do now that he knows the system. You know what I mean? That's how I try to justify things, all right? Because you really do have to give players time to learn the system. You really do. It's not just, you're going to learn it within this training camp or this spring training or whatever, and then we're good. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. You have to give them time. Just like Nick Foles, you had to assess him. What did I say years ago? I said, you got to give him at least 2 to 3 years to assess him as a quarterback before you can say, hey, he should be our starter, or hey, he needs to go. Didn't I say that? I even said at one point where Nick Foles, where he wasn't showing any type of, production, and I was like, look, you got to start Mike Vick over Nick Foles. You know what I mean? And then Chip Kelly, as we know, for those who don't know, okay, I'll put it like that. Chip Kelly at the time changed his system to go around Nick Foles, and now we see the success that's being upon us when it comes to a great quarterback. So as far as I'm concerned, and I think Michael Irvin said it best, all right? Nick Foles did great things last year, but in order to be a great quarterback, you have to consistently do them. So let's see what Nick Foles has this season, all right? This next upcoming season coming up, I'm really excited to see what he can do. Now, if he falters, I don't want to hear any Eagles fans, all of a sudden throw him under the bus, all right? A lot of you were, pretty much first you trashed him, then you kissed his ass. Now, if he messes up again, you're going to trash him again? No, this is our quarterback. Nick Foles is our quarterback. Stick with it. I'm not trying to hear it. And there's also talk that we're going to go into the draft and get another quarterback, or we're looking at other quarterbacks, because Matt Barkley isn't going to cut it. All right? I don't want to hear it. Mike Vick is going to go somewhere else. You know that. So as far as I'm concerned, we'll see what happens with that. But the Eagles do have a lot on the line. Some of you have already said on Twitter not too long ago that they cut Jason Avant. You should have known that was coming. With all the other stuff that's going on, they cut Jason Avant. A lot of you were like, why didn't they get rid of Patrick Chung before Jason Avant? Maybe because, Patrick Chung's on defense and Jason Avant's on offense, and they're trying to restructure their receiving core, and they feel as though they're almost intact and wait for the draft. That's why Jason Avant is gone. Not because, he was the worst player at the time that could be expendable. No. Because if that's the case, if we're looking at worst players, I would cut Patrick Chung before Jason Avant. But that's not what they're doing here, all right? They're looking at their wide receiver core. They're trying to beef up the wide receiver core. I understand that Jason Avant, as far as I'm concerned, he should have stayed, but we don't know what the Eagles are going to do. We don't know what they're going to do in free agency or in the draft. We don't know what they have targeted right now. I do say this, however, we need a big-time receiver, and wide receiver 10 is not a big-time receiver. And a lot of people will say, oh, yes, no. Listen. He always disappears in playoff games. He does. He said, well, we haven't had enough playoff games. The game against Dallas in the playoffs when McNabb played, he disappeared in that game, did he not? And this playoffs against the Saints, he disappeared in this game. Understand, he is not a versatile wide receiver. He showed a little bit of, spunk this year. I had a problem with his attitude, but understand, all right, at the end of the day, when this guy is complaining about contract issues, and then you give him a better contract, and then after the season, he says he wants a raise, he's going to keep doing this. If anyone is detrimental to this team that I speak about today, it's wide receiver 10. It's not going to stop. And now we have Ravens fans talking about they'll easily take him on because he's the best player on the team. Really? You really think that wide receiver 10 is our best player on the team, hands down? Really? You don't know Eagles football. But if Ravens fans, if you want to have them and you want to give us some good, a good draft pick or a good player, hey, or some great money for it, by all means, take them. I'm all for it. Seriously, I'm all for it. But I would put it like this, all right? Eagles fans, so far, the moves that are being made are good. I don't see a problem with this so far. No complaints from me. Really, there's no complaints. I see a lot of people complaining about the Eagles being cheap. Nah, man. Kelsey, they gave him, he took a pay cut to stay here. They gave Cooper a lot of money, which I still don't like the fact they gave him so much money, all right? They still have to go through that roster and flesh it out and see who needs to be paid. It's not just one or two people that need to be paid. You notice, you got to look at the entire roster. Plus, in the draft, how much, because when rookies, they get paid a lot these days when it comes to in the draft. You cannot sit here and say that they're not spending money. You can't say that. All right? God knows what we're going to have in free agency as well. I don't know who's going to be free agent. We will see what happens. But we do need to beef up our linebackers, and we need to beef up our safeties. That is the problem for me right now. It's not that much offense, all right? Same thing with Jason Peters. Give him money if he needs it, all right? Because without Jason Peters, without that front line, LaShawn McCoy's not doing anything. So as far as I'm concerned, worry about the defense more than the offense. That's what we should be worried about this time. And like I said, you need some receivers out there, But that comes secondary to our defense as far as I'm concerned. Now, I do want to talk about Tampa Bay Buccaneers because I don't understand what the hell is going on in Tampa Bay. All right, Tampa Bay fans, please talk to me about this because this is your new uniform. Tampa Bay fans, seriously, what is going on out there? I have to ask this real quick, all right? Because first off, the jersey is ugly as all hell, okay? Why do the numbers on the jersey look like a digital clock? I'm trying to figure this out. As far as I'm concerned, you people need to protest this petition. I don't care what you have to do. It is a shame, all right, that Tampa Bay fans are going to have to sit in the stands and look at their team lose while with those jerseys on, as far as I'm concerned. I would rather you wear the throwback jerseys, the orange ones. I would rather you wear those jerseys all season long than to look at those jerseys. They are ugly as all hell. I cannot believe, what? Speaking of protest, I want to move on. I do. Sochi. Gotta talk about this. I said I'd talk about the Olympics. Figure skating. Okay. Now look, for those who don't understand, I am not a fan of figure skating. All right? Only because of all the truth that comes out, the ugly truth that comes out about figure skating. If you don't know what I'm talking about, by all means on Netflix, there's, 30 for 30 for Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan. Please watch that. Okay, see how judges influence people. If you don't wear a certain outfit, they're going to give you zeros and things of that nature. There's a lot of politics in figure skating. Well, it happened in Sochi as well. A South Korean woman by the name of Yuna Kim, who was robbed, of her gold medal, and they gave it to the Russian girl at the time. So, All right? Understand. Not that the girl was bad. She wasn't bad. But Yuna Kim clearly won the gold medal. All right? Now that this has happened, people have protested this decision. People have petitioned this decision. And a lot of people are going to sit here and say that, she deserved to win the silver. She didn't deserve to win the gold. If you look at those scores, okay, and I put the scores in the info bar for you, Yuna Kim clearly should have won this event. There is no way that figure skating can keep getting away with this. It is sad to see that so much politics. And for people who know, when it comes to the Olympics, politics are not supposed to play a part in the Olympics. All right? This is supposed to be about togetherness and fun. And in Sochi, all we saw were protests outside. People were getting arrested, and the whole anti-gay stance. And it's sad to see that so much politics within the sports and outside the sports ruined this event. Ruined not just this event, but the Olympics in general. Now, America didn't do very well in the Olympics, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. All right? It's not like, like I said, America cannot win everything. All right? But you have to think, if you watch the opening ceremony, there were times where certain countries only had one athlete competing. One competing in the Olympics, all right? And I'm thinking to myself, that one athlete better be good as hell and go for the goal all the way. You know what I mean? Because certain, we had a number of, representatives, and, Canada had a number of representatives, and the UK had a number of representatives, and every country, a lot of countries had a number of representatives, within the 30, 40, 50, hundreds routes. And it's like, when you see these guys come out by themselves, it's like, that takes a lot of guts, So I'm not trying to hear, USA didn't win enough gold medals and things of that nature. It's like, you should be happy that USA had those number of people to even compete. It seems like people forget what the games are all about, And I know some of you are going to say, well, there were some political stances even back in the day, where we had, track and field, we all know about this. I get it. But the politics and the fighting are supposed, that's what the Olympics are about, goodwill. The goodwill games. It's understand that it's not supposed to be about hate. It's not supposed to be about politics and all this type of stuff. You let these things happen. And you say, we're in Sochi. We're going to let it slide. Give them the home field advantage. You can't do that either. And some people accept it, but you should know these people work so damn hard, for years to hone their craft to get to this point, and then you take it away from them because whether it's the crowd favorite or whatever, that is sad. That is disgusting. And judges, like I said, they're being investigated. People want them investigated. They should be investigated, as far as I'm concerned. It's just hard to watch as an athlete. You play a lot of sports, and then you watch these people do phenomenal things. Like figure skating. Like, no way in hell could I figure skate. You know what I mean? I could never do it. I could never jump and do those twists. Phenomenal things on skates, on ice, for them to just be bagged on, or people sit around like, that person sucked. Like, they worked so hard to get to that point. If you think you're so good, take your ass out there and do it yourself. There's certain things I will bag on athletes about, and things of that nature, but in no way in hell, in something that I don't know about, like figure skating, would I be like, that person sucked. No way. No. Because it's something I could not do. I couldn't even fathom. I couldn't imagine doing that, But people are so hard on each other. Who, like I said, people sit on the sidelines and they will judge others who actually take an attempt to do something. It's ridiculous, Anyways, I'm done for the day. I want to say real quick, Flyers, Capitals. I watched on Sunday. Capitals fans, you should be ashamed for how your team, I should say, is flopping all over the place. How Adam Oates, every time there's an illegal hit, he says, it shouldn't have happened. Adam Oates' brain is mush as far as I'm concerned. And I don't respect Adam Oates anymore. I used to respect him as a player, right? Because he was a great player. As a coach, he's garbage. Don't sit here. I understand you got to back your team, but don't sit here and tell me, all right, when your player leaves his skates, goes up and jumps and hits our guy for boarding, that you're trying to say he shouldn't have been suspended. He shouldn't even got a 5-minute penalty for it. He should have got a 2-minute penalty. No, he should have been suspended, and rightfully so. That guy was suspended for 2 games. We have you guys again on Wednesday for rivalry night. I will be watching. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all be safe. I'm out.